Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and see how this particular phone holds up in 2024. Now, the thing to keep in mind here, in my personal opinion, is that this particular device is a very interesting phone when it kind of comes down to it. It's one of those types of devices that when you look at, it's a good looking phone, I think it still looks very beautiful, but it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to go and buy because this phone has been outdated with software for a long period of time. So we'll talk about that throughout this whole entire video. First of all, if you want to pick up some phones that I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, the number one thing to keep in mind here for the most part is that with something like the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, this is one of those devices that looks beautiful. Massive display on the front, 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's 1440p and it's 120Hz. It doesn't get the brightest of all time, but it is a very good display and I'm a massive fan of the way this particular display looks like. It's a very good display for sure. USB Type-C on the bottom. You're getting your S Pen built in inside of the phone, which is another really cool thing going on for this type of device. Frosted glass back with a triple camera setup, and this phone body-wise still looks and feels very good. I'm a massive fan of the way this phone looks from that particular side. Now on top of that, you are getting things like reverse wireless charging on this phone too, which is another really cool thing going on for this type of phone. Now on top of those things, nothing has really changed on this phone from the beginning of this year, and that's kind of a problem. So from a software side, we're kind of stuck in the situation where this phone is basically like done getting software updates. So it genuinely doesn't make any sense at all to go and buy a phone like this. Not only has this phone been outdated with software, but it's been outdated with software for so many years now. And that is kind of the problem that we're kind of running into. It's like, why buy a phone like this if it's already done getting software updates? And once again, that's kind of the issue that we're running into. I wouldn't really recommend people to go ahead and buy a phone like this if it's already outdated with software. And that's kind of the problem that we're running into. It's like, why buy that phone at that point? So I kind of think about it from that side as like one of those situations where, if you're able to go through and maybe get a different device that's still supported with software, that might be a better idea. If you were to look at this phone and look at something like a Galaxy S24 Ultra, it's actually kind of surprising how good of a job Samsung did with this type of phone, because it still handles a lot of things, on this phone, in my opinion as well. Like it still is like a really good performing phone from that side as well. But I would say from the actual performance level of this phone, it's not that great. You're getting that Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 chipset with 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM. Now, the chipset itself isn't the best, but it's still like a good amount of RAM to have inside of a device. And like I said before, I think it's a really good phone from that particular perspective. Like I think if you're going to go through and like get a phone, I'm a really big type of fan of the way this phone's RAM situation is, because it's a lot of RAM inside of this device. But when you're looking at that chipset, it is slightly outdated. And once again, that is kind of the problem that you're running into with this type of phone, is that it is a little bit of an outdated device. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to go and buy a phone like this because it's already kind of outdated. So all in all, what I'll probably tell you is it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to go and buy a device like a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra anymore. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I think there's a lot better devices to go and buy. And I think it makes more sense to go and buy something like a, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, S22 Ultra. Those types of phones make a lot more sense to go and pick up than this type of phone, if that makes any sense. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.